morning. Thanks for joining me for today's stamping. My name is Tracy Held. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne in Australia, and this is my usual Sunday morning stamping. This is the card that we're going to make today. I don't know if you saw my blog post last week. I think it went live on Thursday. I promised that I would make this card today. So that's what we're doing. It's quite a fun card. It flips up like that, and you can see you've got this fold in the middle, well at the top, that's creating the shape of the birdhouse. I did a blog hop a little while ago. It was an all Australian blog, and this was one of the cards that was made by Di Barnes, who's an Australian demonstrator. And you may have read in my blog the story about the card. I'll tell you about that one while we're colouring. But let's get started with making the card. I'll show you the products that we're using. So this is still one of the celebration items, the Friendly Hello. And that's the one that comes with the DSP. So I'm using one of the pieces of DSP that's in that pack. That's a level 2 bundle, and I know that we're lucky in Australia. We weren't so happy in the beginning when we didn't have all the products, but now because it took so long for everything to get to us, they've given us an extra 2 weeks. If you're overseas, you've got until the 28th, which is tomorrow my time. It may be 2 days still your time. So if you want any of the celebration items, make sure that you get them in. I'm also using the gingham embossing folder. So this is in the new catalogue, and once again I'm using my layering circles dies. So there's not a lot of stuff that we need here. I am going to put the measurements into the description. They're not there yet, but they will be as soon as I finish. I just didn't have a chance to get them in before it was time for me to start. So starting with our card base, you're going to need a ruler and a pencil because this is one of those technical ones again. It's your standard half sheet of cardstock, and I've scored it in the middle at 14.9 centimeters. So if you're using your imperials, that would be your normal score at 5.5. And then what I'm going to do is I'm marking, so from my center, 4.5 centimeters up on both sides. Right, so if you're using the inches, you can mark that at 1.5 inches. Now, if you want to make the roof steeper or, less steep, then just change your measurements. While I've got my pen and paper, my pencil rather, I'm going to just mark my DSP, and you would do this on whatever color you're using for the inside there as well. So I've already done my inside just because you don't want to watch me doing the same thing too many times. So here I'm marking my halfway point. Okay, so 5 centimeters. And I haven't done that inch calculation. And again, we're marking down at 4.5 centimeters. Now, with my pool party piece over here, I have already run that through the embossing folder. You could cut it first and then put it through the embossing folder, whichever way you want to, it doesn't matter. Now, with my DSP, I'm putting both of my marks, so the middle at the top and my mark on the side on the cutting track. And okay, that needs a slightly, probably better. And we're cutting that both sides. So there we've got my house shape. we've got the same, it's the exact same size for your piece that's going inside. And then with the card, I'm going to score from the mark to the mark, and we're going across that middle score line where our card's folding. So scoring there, and then again from the mark to the mark, we're scoring. So that's our most complicated bits done, and it really wasn't too bad. Okay, let's just get rid of those marks. And then when I'm folding the card, so we've got my normal halfway fold, folding the card in half, and then what we're going to do is fold on those score lines. And then I'm pushing my middle fold that it's going in. And it really doesn't want to work for me today. Okay, let's just see if I can. Do one side at a time. There we go. So we're just going to push that our center fold is going in instead of out. There we go. And we can just give it a press with the bone folder. And there we have our birdhouse shape. So that's our preparation done. Let's talk about our stamping. Now, we're going to have to stamp a bird, and the bird has the flower attached to it. So what I've done is I've colored in some of these so that you don't have to watch me doing too much coloring, and I've cut them out. So there's my bird, which I'm going to color, and then that's the flowers. Okay, where I just stamped the flowers, I didn't put that extra leaf there, which I've colored and cut out. And I've stamped two of these little flowers here. We're going to stamp another one of those onto my insert and cut those out. So you can see there's a bit of fussy cutting, and we all know that fussy cutting is not my big forte here, but I'll do that. And then for my insert, I'm just going to stamp a little flower at the bottom. Alright, now ordinarily I would do my colouring before I cut out. I don't think it really makes a difference, but for some reason I'm more comfortable doing the colouring after, but just to save time that you didn't have to watch me cutting out my bird, I've already done it. So I've got my light and dark fresh freesia. I've got light floaty flamingo, my light pool party, light soft suede, and light shaded spruce. Those are the colors that I'm using. And we're just going to color in our bird and that little flower. And while I'm coloring, I'll tell you the story about what inspired the birdhouse if you haven't already read it on my blog. I have a friend in Scotland, and it was her birthday, so I jumped online to order flowers for her. And you know, as you do, you don't know any of the places, so you look around, see what flowers look nice, and I found a place that had what looked like a nice bunch of flowers, and they had a little cake that was going with it. So I thought, yep, good, and I ordered that, and great stuff, off we go. And the next thing, I get a message from her saying, thank you for the flowers, they were so beautiful, and the bird seed was such a nice touch. You know, I'll be using it when I move into my new place. And I actually thought that she had lost the plot. I could not understand what she was on about birdseed. And then she sent me a picture of what she had got. And yeah, she had this bunch of flowers, the little cake, which was what I was expecting, and a packet of birdseed. So I have no idea why they'd sent birdseed with it. And she was delighted with the birdseed. So, all right, now I've colored my flowers with the light fresh freesia, and I'm just going over the lines and the petals with the dark. So I decided that now she's moving into her new place, so I can send her a card for a new place, and sticking with the birdseed theme, I would send her a birdhouse for her new house. So that was how this card happened. And when I did that blog hop and Di Barnes had done the birdhouse, it was just, oh yeah, that's the exact card that I need to send. So that worked perfectly for me. All right, so there we go. There's our colouring all done. And you've had my birdhouse story, and now we're ready to assemble. If I can find some glue. Before it was hiding behind my computer. Alright, so DSP. I've got this very crooked. There we go, that looks better. And that's why we like Tombow glue, because we can slide it as we go. Now, for my circle here, I have put that through the embossing folder as well. You're not actually going to see a lot of it because the bird is covering it, but I just wanted the texture behind just to add a little bit of interest. Now on that card I used the good luck, which was from the other celebration level 2 awards, which I can never remember the name of. But I thought for this one, I'm not going to do another, I don't know when anybody else is moving into a home, so I've just used the Hello Friend sentiment from the Friendly Hello, and I stamped it and then cut it up. So it is quite close, so you can see that it's kind of, the friend is just touching. I know that there are some people who cut their stamps up and then use them, but I'm not that brave, so I'm not cutting it up. So we're going to put the bird on, and then I'm going to put some of these extra flowers behind him. Over there. Alright, maybe what I'll do is I'll just glue the flowers to the bird first, and then we can glue the whole lot down together. There we go. Now with this bird, you can have it whatever orientation you like. It could be flat like that, but I'm going to put it, the bird standing more upright, our branches growing up across the tree. And stick my hello across the top here. I'll put the friend at the bottom. And I'm going to put one of these extra little flowers that looked like the flower was upside down. Don't know if it really makes any difference, but there we go. So I think that'll be good for there. Then we're taking the inside of the house, and again, you're not seeing too much of the embossing once it's in, but if you're watching, you do see a little bit of it, and it makes the difference. So this is going to fit nicely in between all your scores. There we go. And my insert on the bottom. We're not going to use that one. So there you go. There's our card, and when we open it up, you've got that. It's, I don't know how well, so that's what it looks like from the top. You can actually see that you've got those score lines where it's popping in. All right, so that's our card for today. I hope that this needs a good press with the bone folder, but that's all right. I hope that you've enjoyed that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will catch you again next Sunday. Have a good week. Bye.